Our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Oh, what a beautiful day in CondorsTown. What up? It's Erik Fox from Energy 95.3, the shaky guy. No, there is no earthquake down at Mechanics Bank. Ryan is still getting himself a little set up. Ryan Holt from the Big Slow Condors. How you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm great. It's team picture day, so we're in full setup mode down here. But yeah, a lot of fun.
I see that you're wearing a tie. It's like school picture day when like a senior, like you never wore a suit in all of high school, but
It is black suit, black tie. That's what we go with. So yeah, it's a fun day, and obviously a fun time of year for us. And yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. The guys get a kick out of doing team picture day.
Well, nothing to wear black over because it's not a funeral, it's a celebration. And let's go and start by talking about the Oilers first, who, they clinched a playoff spot. I mean, they found their way and the right time to kick off. For the last, they won their last 6. They're 9-0-1 in the last 10. They just had another win last night versus another team that we know about. What are we seeing with that team right now?
Yeah, I got to see them in LA on Tuesday. Caught up with a lot of the guys, caught up with a lot of the former Condors, and obviously Jay Woodcroft, Dave Manson, Noah Siegel, the coaching staff. Terrific win in LA. A game they needed to have if they want to win the division and get that top spot in the conference. And I thought it was a really well played game, a game that you have to play kind of going into the playoffs. And I think Stuart Skinner's been outstanding for the team. What a great story he's been. Vinny Desharnais and all that he's meant to the Oilers here in the second half of the year, and their record with Vinny Desharnais back in the lineup, and really a fun game to be at. The Oilers have I think 3 or 4 games left to solidify themselves and find hopefully the top spot in the conference, top spot in the division, and if they do so, they'll be in a good spot come the first round of the playoffs, because that LA team, I'd like to avoid that first round matchup with LA if at all possible. But hey, that's why you play the games, and I think they're in a good spot moving forward. I think they're a team that nobody's going to want to play.
Let's talk about the LA team because they did leapfrog them, so they're in second place currently. So that would mean home versus LA. But you're saying you just don't want to face LA, period, in that first round.
I'd like not to. I mean, I think if you could play Seattle, or if you can play Winnipeg in that first round, or Calgary in the first round, I think that's a little bit of an easier task. But for the Oilers, I think it doesn't matter who they play. I think they play a very nice brand of hockey, a brand of hockey that you can be proud of, and hopefully they come out of it. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Let's go and jump into talking about the local and also celebration, because last night, that 3-0 win over Colorado, the Condors have clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah,
what's that looking like?
It was awesome. And nice to do it with a win. Could have done it with a loss from San Jose, but to win and to do it on home ice has been terrific. The team's been outstanding at home, 15-2-2 in the last 19 games on home ice, which is nothing to shake a stick at. It's not just we kind of talking in January, all the teams kind of recovering from December. Now, not only are they recovering, they're thriving. Into 5th place in the division, still get a chance at home ice in the first round. Putting themselves in the best possible spot for what's to come in 10 days' time, and let the chips fall where they may. But I don't think anybody wants to face this Condors team coming up in a couple of weeks.
Of course, 7 teams in the Pacific are going to get into the playoffs. Condors number 5. What are you seeing with that race with Ontario and Tucson? Are they going to be heating things up as we get into the tail end?
Well, I think when you look at it, Tucson's still going to play their way in. They play San Jose a couple of times here down the stretch, and Ontario's been 500 for the second half of the year, which has been iffy. I think for Ontario, I think if you're one of those teams that have a home ice spot in the first round right now, you're looking at the teams that you're going to have to play. Ontario's been 500, Tucson's been below 500, and then the Condors have had the 3rd best record in the league since January 1st. So who would you want to play in the first round? Best of 3. Not to say that you're not going to be able to get out of it with any of the teams, and certainly it's going to be difficult for Bakersfield to go on the road to Abbotsford or to Colorado. But I think the way this team has played, you got to give them at least a puncher's chance, I think, as a betting favorite, or at least betting even odds going into that series.
Ken, that crystal ball, what are you seeing as the possible lineup for that first round, and what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I think it'll end up being Colorado, just the way the schedule is going to shake out here. I think Abbotsford, probably has a good weekend against Ontario at home. Colorado's going to beat San Jose this weekend too. So I think everything kind of stays status quo, and I think it ends up being a 4-5 matchup. I think, between the two, which kind of puts the Condors. I mean, either way, the Condors would be on the the number 1 seed track for the second round. But at this point, beggars can't be choosers. You just got to get in and see what happens. And if that's the first round matchup, we've been to Colorado in the first round and beat them there. So we'll see what happens coming up this weekend. This weekend will tell a lot to where this this is going to head.
It's almost like you're reading my notes right before I get to them, talking about this weekend and the road trip and the importance of playing Henderson and Coachella Valley on the road and what that means and what that prep work looks like.
Yeah. Final 2 road games of the year. Henderson's out of it, so they have nothing to play for here Friday. And then Coachella Valley is going to be, a team we're going to see 3 times here over the final, 5 games of the season. And they're in a battle right now. They lost last night to Calgary. They need to, get that number 1 spot. But, Calgary's hell-bent on securing it because both teams don't want to play in that first round. Best of 3. They're going to have, 45 wins apiece. And, neither of them, one of them's got to play in a best of 3. I will say this, Coachella Valley has 36 regulation wins this year. The Condors have 34. So the gap is not that big. I know points wise, it looks that big, but come playoff time, when, you have, overtime and there's no shootouts. And I mean, you have a full 5-on-5 OT, things look a little different. So I think the underlying numbers, kind of speak volumes to how good this Condors team's playing because, when you only have a couple of losses a couple of wins separating, yourself and Coachella Valley, who've, been the top 2 team in the league for the entire year, that's pretty impressive.
It's going to talk about also next Wednesday. We do have luckily the last 3 games are home games for the season.
Yeah.
And where we got Henderson coming home. What is that importance to do to just like shaking it all out? I think I'm repeating my questions at this point.
Well, we knew that, kind of going into the season, we wanted to, and everybody kind of puts it in, but, we wanted to have a home, week going into the postseason. You always want to be home going into the playoffs, especially with travel and things like that. You don't know where you're going to end up and where you might have to go. So it's a lot easier when you're in your home base to be able to get on the road and be able to travel. So, for us, it's nice to just be in our own beds for, 5-6 days, before we have to head out on the road, potentially still have a chance to be at home in the first round, but it just makes things a little easier. And, 2 big crowds coming up on the 14th and 15th. It's going to be a fun week and, a fun week to kind of kick off things into the, into what we call the fun season.
And of course, next Wednesday is Energy Night. We got your chance to win tickets at energy953.com for that. People want to check out the road games this weekend, the important ones. What do they got to do?
Yeah, AHL TV, 7:00 Friday night against Henderson, and then 6:00 against Coachella Valley on Saturday from Palm Springs.
And then next Wednesday, of course, we got to pack the stands. What do we got to do?
6:30 p.m. puck drop, Energy Night, and Condors and Henderson Wednesday, and then $2 beers next Friday, and Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday. It's gonna be a packed house. Thousands of giveaways and things like that. So a lot of fun next Saturday, and a lot of fun next weekend, and a lot of fun on Energy Night. So it's gonna be a great celebration of the season to kind of finalize things going into a very fun time of year.
Let's get there and pack the stands. It is a big push, and next time we talk, hopefully we'll have a little clear tea leaves or a crystal ball.
I hope so.
We know what that first round's going to look like.
I'd like to know that too.
Ryan Holt for the Basel Condors. My name is Erik Fox of Energy 95.3. Every single week we get you caught up on all things CondorsTown, and next week maybe a little more playoff preview coming your way right here with Energy 95.3. We'll see you then.